in a Podcast. We're so glad you're here. We're your hosts, Natasha and Lindsey.
Well, we are here in person today.
We
That's
are really
exciting.
yes.
Yeah.
I'm so cute.
We're headed out to a charcuterie and charcuterie.
Yeah,
Right.
they said cheese board, but I think it's the same.
Charcuterie.
Yeah,
It better be like full on. I hope.
I'm gonna eat all of it. Either way,
Me too. All the cheese.
And the floral arrangement piece is going to be so much fun.
I'm so excited. Yeah.
We'll try our best. Try is the key word here, to take pictures.
We're the worst at doing that.
Because we always say every time we get together, let's take pictures. And then we leave and you're home and you're like, guess what we didn't do? We didn't take pictures. So we can't guarantee there will be photographic evidence.
It's true.
But we'll do our best because
But at least you see that we're actually in person.
we
So
are really
something's
friends.
happening. Well, I'm excited to dive into week 2, and I'm also excited that we are now recording and posting new episodes every week
Yeah.
for the podcast. So this is week 2 of our love languages, and we're jumping into quality time.
This was a really good one. I enjoyed how this one played, like how it read, but also, excuse me, just the reminder that when people are looking for quality time, like what that really looks like for them.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of really simple, practical things that were like, oh, I can totally improve on that.
Definitely. I like too that it wasn't, and we'll get into it, but it wasn't just this like time together. Like there were different ways that quality time could translate into the physical presence, but like the verbal presence that you have with someone.
Yeah, I thought that was very interesting as well. Like I think they said when words of affirmation is our love language, we're listening in a different way. But when it's quality time, it's what they're saying that really matters.
Yeah. And you hear people say all the time, like, I hear you, but are you listening to me? And I think that that's the quality time piece that sometimes we're missing out on, is the actual like listening to the person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going over my test earlier today, and quality time is my number 2 ranking love language. And so I could resonate with some of these things, and I've noticed how like in the last few years, these things are true. Like undivided attention is a real winner.
Yes. Same. I get so frustrated sometimes when I feel like I'm repeating myself and I'm like, okay, but were you listening to me? Like in my head, that's my internal dialogue. They weren't listening.
Yes. Yep. I have a terrible memory. And so there have been times that like my husband and I will talk and he's like, we talked about this. I'm like, no, we didn't. And he's like, yes, we did. And I'm like, no, we really didn't. And we'll go back and forth. And it's not because I wasn't listening. It's just, I have a terrible memory, but it is something that I can definitely work on to make sure that I'm not on my phone or distracted by other things, but really honing in on what's being said so that it's showing that level of care.
Yeah, definitely. What are some other things that we took away from quality?
Yeah, quality time. I liked that in the chapter it said that words of affirmation focus on what we're saying, and we were just talking about that, but quality conversation focuses on what they're hearing. But being an empathetic listener. So the book was saying that most of us are far more efficient in thinking than we are in speaking. And so I don't know about you, I do that a lot. Like when I'm having conversation, I'm either thinking about the next thing to be said or how I want to respond to what they're saying, or sometimes I think I have ADHD in my brain because you'll say something and then I'll be, oh, that like triggered a memory or a story. And so I'm like, wait, I got to tell you. And so I think I think that statement is true in my life. Something I could definitely work on, like being more efficient in really listening rather than hearing and ready to speak.
Yeah. And if it's not something that you're used to doing or like something that you kind of have to learn, one of the things that they said multiple times throughout the chapter was that quality time as a dialect could be like a foreign language.
Yeah.
And you're like kind of learning how to adjust how you receive information, how you hear information, but also how to provide it to the other person.
Yeah. And that it's a new skill you have to learn, kind of like a muscle you have to really work with
Mhm.
because it doesn't come naturally because that's not how we're wired. We're wired to talk.
Right.
Yeah. And so not only listening, but empathetically listening with like, okay, how is this person feeling?
Mhm.
What are their emotions attached to what they're saying?
Yeah.
What's their tone and their body language? How can I provide comfort or peace or be a safe space for them while they're speaking? Because it sounds like this could be really hard.
Mhm.
And on the flip side too, like the joy and the laughter and the nonchalantness of being comfortable with someone so you can just share all the things.
Yeah.
But that doesn't always come naturally. And I mean, like we've been friends for so long that it's a lot easier because we've had so many hours of conversation that we can do a little bit of both. But I still think that I could grow in that for sure.
Me too. Yeah. I think that like we as a society are always based to like the next thing, like getting to the next thing. And so sometimes in our conversation it even comes out that way. Like we're
listening and hearing the person talk, but we're already thinking about our response as opposed to how they might be feeling. Or we're on our phones, or we're thinking about dinner, our back is turned, maybe we're cooking dinner, and we didn't stop to engage with them. And so then we're really missing the whole context to your point. And
there's so many things, body language, all those things that really do kind of steer us into another person's reality.
Yeah. And I think too, the practical side of how we show quality time is really simple, but it's doing it, right? And that was something that stood out to me about quality time is, you know, something that they said was put down. I don't know that they said it in the book, but like put down your phone.
I think they did. Yeah. I think it was one of the things.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, I'm so guilty of that. Like, and there are times that it's in my pocket. I don't think about it, but 9 times out of 10, it's on the table. When it buzzes, it distracts me, or I pull it out to like find something and then I'm distracted again. And just that one phrase was like, oh, that really does make an impact on the people you spend time with because it shows them where your focus is.
Yeah. I was super convicted by that, I'll be honest, because I think about all the times that I've gone out with friends and had coffee and I've been on my phone while they're talking to me and telling me a conversation, or I'm checking my watch because I just got a text message in and I want to see who it's from. But when I was thinking about it, like that person set aside time to go have this coffee with me or this meal with me, and I'm taking advantage of their time and not giving them my full attention, and not, maybe their love language is quality time, so I'm not feeding into what they need in that moment, but I'm selfishly doing things that appease me in the moment.
Yeah. Definitely something to be worked on.
Yes, definitely for me. I really like too the quality activities. Quality time, sometimes for me, I'm like, what? Quality time is like, we could sit on that couch and not do anything and just like sit and hang out, watch a movie, and I would be fine. With that. That's how that speaks to me. But the activities one was really interesting to me. And it was like finding the activities to do together, something that you enjoy, and maybe they don't enjoy it, or maybe you don't enjoy it and they really enjoy it, but trying to like find the middle ground of, this brings my friend great joy, so I'm going to do it with them. One of the things that I thought of was, I love to see old churches, and specifically old Catholic churches. I don't know what it is about those, but
They're
like
beautiful.
They are beautiful. But I know that that's not everyone's thing. But I have one friend who every time I am with her, she makes a point to find an old church to go visit together. And like one time we were driving home from a dinner in Auburn, and she's like, oh, look at this great church that's in this area. And like, she pulled over to the side of the road, and I was just like, oh, that's so nice of you. I couldn't go inside, but it was still a cool church to see. We went to Canada, and that was like on our to-do list. And when you and I planned our trip to New York, she was the first one to be like, you have to go visit this church. But it's cool when people just remember those little things and those activities. That's not their thing to do, but they know that it's my thing. So every time we've traveled together, they always make a point to find that place for me. And that just means a lot, right? Like, you feel seen in those moments.
For sure. I was thinking too about when my boys were little and he used to come run errands with me. Like sometimes I think we went grocery shopping and like those were so little and it didn't feel significant in the moment. But, all these years later, like those were great memories of just, being able to share life together. And it wasn't anything fancy. We weren't going to go make charcuterie boards, but, you met me where I was at in the stage of life that I was in, because I couldn't just leave my toddler behind or whatever, but we did want to spend time together. And I'm so grateful for those moments. And it's, I think, meeting each other where we're at in the stages that we're at, because we've had, all sorts of different kinds of things like that over the years.
Yeah.
And like you said, you feel seen and you feel connected to the other person. And sometimes I think we overlook those little moments.
Yeah.
Even like when I helped you pack one time and I brought Dash with me and he played on the pots and pans, and
Yeah.
he was a toddler at the time. And those are the things that over the years, like in your bucket of quality time, stick, because we're just doing
life together. And that does equal all that quality time. I think about the time that you came over and we tried to put a treadmill together, and in our defense, it was broken already before we even opened it. But but we ended up having like serious live chats. And I think it ended with us both crying on the floor. So, I mean, those are the moments that really are, I think, pivotal and the foundation of our friendship. And just like the grocery shopping, that's where parking lot prayers came from.
Yeah.
Talked about this podcast was the foundations of our friendship in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think we're saying that to say, like, try the thing and don't take for granted those little moments that feel insignificant, because the longevity of your relationship with people starts in those little moments.
Yeah. And I think there's something so special about seeing the joy of your friend. If you're not super into it, but you know that they're really into it, like, it's just heartwarming to be like, oh, she's having the best time of her life right now.
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah. So I think that quality time is a really important one. And there's so many ways that we can show up for our friends. Even if quality time isn't our top love language, you still benefit from it because you're making time for each other, and that's how your relationship grows.
Yeah. And I think too, as we're going through these, one thing that's really been sticking out with me is you don't know until you have the conversations. And so maybe it's challenging your friends too and be like, hey, do you know what your love language is? And exploring that together and learning how you can fill each other's tank up. Because maybe you're listening to this and you're like, well, that really resonates with me. I do love the quality time and the running the errands together, or words of affirmation was really it. I love hearing that, how awesome I am. I mean, who doesn't? But like, maybe this is kind of light bulb for you. And it's important to explore those things. So I would challenge you to have the conversations with your friends. Make it awkward if you have to. Because talking about love language can be weird if it's not something that's part of your daily conversation. But it's worth it at the end of the day, because it only is going to strengthen the bond that you and your friends have together.
Yeah, maybe you could even take the quiz together, right? Like sit down, you can do it on your phone and, go over the questions and be like, oh, I resonate with this one, or yeah, absolutely not. I don't want that.
Exactly.
But that could help maybe make the conversation a little bit less awkward, because if you're doing it together, then you can talk through it and figure it out as you go through it and make it an experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
So tune in next week when we pick up on week 3. I think it's acts of service for our next one. And we'll link the quiz in our show notes or in the description of this episode. So if you need a quick find, you can click on it there. And we'd love to hear from you and what your love languages are. Till next week. See you later.
That's a wrap on this episode of Two Main Friends in a Podcast. Follow us on Facebook or Instagram. You can also send us an email at twomainfriends@gmail.com. And as always, leave us a review wherever you're listening.